what's stopping you as an agency from, let's say you're not hitting the numbers agreed on social channels, social media channels. What's stopping you from buying views or buying likes in order to hit those KPIs?
Nothing. It happens all the time.
Wow, okay. And clients know this.
Well,
I'm just really curious as to how this industry
no,
works.
that's
Because,
fine. I'm just trying to figure out a way to explain this. Now, obviously, it is a bad thing that you don't reach your KPI and you have to like kayfabe it, like you have to fake the numbers. But it is something that happens. Like that's just the reality of the industry. Like
yeah.
sometimes you 10% short and you just have to make it up by paying X amount of fake accounts to do it. And like the clients, like I think everyone involved in this industry knows it.
Yeah, that's what fascinates me.
The result of an advertising campaign doesn't just rely on that set out KPI. Like the KPI is the agreed number between the agency and the client for that particular campaign. But outside of that, the clients have to measure a lot of different other numbers as well. So usually every couple of years, a brand will have a third-party research agency to conduct something they call a brand health check. Big corporations have their own like R&D team that just do this like annually, but like you have a brand health check research where it's like independent of any campaigns run before or after. You just go out and you do surveys and you check to see how many people got your message, how many people understand your brand, how many people actually use your products, what they actually think of your products. Like that's like a separate research. Sometimes it can take up to months and cost thousands of dollars to conduct, just to tell them where the brand is at. So if you say if an agency got a campaign like in the past year that didn't hit very well, but they somehow kayfabe the KPI and they got the number to just round up that campaign, the clients will still know afterwards whether or not their advertising campaign got any traction. They will still know whether or not it yielded any results. And if say after a year they did a brand health check and their brand health is actually lower, like they realize that whatever advertising they did in the last year didn't work, there has to be a change in strategy. Like they have to look for different KPIs maybe, they have to work with different agencies maybe, they have to maybe actually adjust the product somehow. All depends on different research, like the results and stuff. Because I think clients and agencies both know this. Advertising only play so big a part in the whole consumer journey. Like people get exposed to the ads and they engage with the ads and that drive them to buy products, sure, but it depends on a lot of other factors as well. And that's why in the grand scheme of things, the marketing budget that gets allocated to a brand is also split up in this way. Like they only spend X amount on advertising. Other than that, they also reserve budget for things like discounts and promotions and other things like referral scheme maybe. Like they give you a percentage for advertising your product to friends and families, for example. So like they spread like once again, not putting all of their eggs in one basket. They go to advertising for about 30% of the result that they want, and then the rest they go to other channels, they go to other piece of the marketing mix basically. So like there is a percentage of, there's a number of agencies and a number of ad campaigns that don't meet the KPIs and we have to fake the numbers and stuff all the time, but it, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think that it affects it very much. I think it's already been calculated for in the whole marketing strategy.
Okay, interesting. And I would imagine this sort of risk mitigation method of like sort of having this annual brand audit that probably only applies to large clients, right? Smaller clients wouldn't be able to afford this sort of luxury of having this service.
But at the same
Yeah.
time, smaller clients would be a lot more practical with the advertising as well. Like it's only big corporations that have campaigns that build like brand love and brand awareness and stuff. Like that, they have the luxury to not have to work directly on the sales numbers and stuff. When you work with smaller companies, like smaller brands and stuff, they're very straightforward in saying that like we have to commit the actual leads. Like a lead is like someone who expressed interest in buying products, or sometimes we have to commit like X% of increase on sales and things like that. And there are ways to make sure that people buy your products more. Usually it's discounts, but for smaller brands, their budgeting strategy is pretty straightforward. It's like how much profit we make will decide how much money we spend on advertising, basically.
Yeah.
So
it's very numbers based, very ROI
yeah, so
focused.
like their margin, like their profit margin is basically the deciding factor of the success of the campaign.